The moment you walk into a room with billionaires, they're already assessing you within seconds, not your clothes or wealth, but something far more revealing. They're reading behavioral cues like your pace, eye contact, and micro-expressions that instantly signal whether you belong in elite spaces or you're performing for them. What they notice first will shock you. The first thing they register isn't your designer watch or perfect posture. It's how you enter the room. Your walking pace reveals everything about your relationship with elite spaces. People who don't belong move with subtle urgency, their steps purposeful in a way that screams, trying to arrive, rather than already expected. Those comfortable in billionaire circles walk as if the room has been waiting for them, even when it hasn't. There's no hesitation at doorways, no scanning for approval, no micro-adjustments of posture before crossing the threshold. That unhurried entry sends an immediate signal: comfort. And in elite environments, comfort reads as currency. It's the difference between someone attending a setting versus someone belonging to it. Within those first few steps, your movement rhythm has already communicated whether you're performing wealth or simply living it. Where you position yourself in the room reveals spatial intelligence that billionaires read instantly. People unfamiliar with elite spaces tend to anchor themselves awkwardly, hovering near walls, clinging to entrances, or immediately attaching themselves to the most powerful-looking person in the room. They're subconsciously broadcasting uncertainty. Those who belong choose positions that feel natural, often slightly removed from the center, never blocking pathways or claiming territory. This spatial awareness signals someone who understands hierarchy without needing to announce it. Your environmental awareness completes the picture. Do you observe the room before engaging, or do you barrel in? Those comfortable in elite spaces notice who's speaking, where energy flows, which conversations are open and which are closed, all before they participate. Someone who enters loudly, greeting everyone at once or searching aggressively for attention, signals unfamiliarity. Someone who enters, pauses naturally, and takes in the environment without appearing to study it, reads as fluent. It's the difference between someone attending a setting versus someone belonging to it. Based on what's already been discussed regarding environmental awareness and spatial positioning, have you ever caught yourself checking your phone or adjusting your clothes when walking into an intimidating room? Comment your answer below. Now, let's explore what happens when you choose your silence over filling the space with words. Your default emotional setting broadcasts before you speak. This isn't about your smile or expression. It's your baseline facial tension that reveals internal noise. People unfamiliar with elite spaces carry stress in their face. Slightly raised eyebrows, a guarded smile, or that subtle look asking, "Am I doing this right?" Billionaires notice emotional neutrality first. A relaxed face that doesn't perform friendliness or brace for rejection. That neutrality signals the emotional self-sufficiency that quietly reads as status. Your stillness completes the assessment. Most people fidget in socially charged environments, adjusting clothing, checking phones, touching their faces. These subtle movements convey internal anxiety and need. Billionaires are remarkably still. Not rigid, just settled. Their bodies don't broadcast anticipation or waiting. In elite circles, stillness reads as authority. It tells others you're not waiting for something to happen because you're already fine exactly where you are. Your physical calm communicates your sense of belonging. When you choose silence over filling the space with words, something counterintuitive happens. Most people expect immediate response. They speak and wait for acknowledgement. When met with silence, they often interpret it as dismissal. But billionaires read comfortable silence differently. They recognize it as selectivity. When you don't immediately speak upon entering, you're signaling that you're listening not because you need information, but because you're choosing whether engagement is worthwhile. Your eye contact patterns complete this signal. People trying to impress often overdo eye contact, holding it too long in an attempt to appear confident. Others avoid it entirely, afraid of scrutiny. Those comfortable in elite spaces use eye contact sparingly but deliberately. This measured approach signals ease rather than dominance attempts. It communicates emotional self-sufficiency that reads as status. The contrast is immediate. Nervous engagement floods the space with constant visual connection, while selective presence uses silence and eye contact as tools of choice, not anxiety. This entire assessment isn't conscious judgment. Billionaires aren't standing there mentally cataloging each behavioral cue like a checklist. It's pattern recognition, the same way you instantly recognize a familiar song from the first 3 notes. Your behavioral fingerprints create an immediate feeling of familiarity or friction in the room. You either blend into the rhythm or disrupt it. And that disruption isn't about noise. It's about effort. The effort to impress. The effort to be seen. The effort to prove something. These attempts are visible instantly to people who've never needed to make them. That's why billionaires can distinguish within moments between new money, married in wealth, and generational familiarity. Not through snobbery, but through recognizing the subtle desperation that wealth can't buy. Someone performing belonging moves differently than someone who's never questioned it. Their pace carries urgency. Their positioning seeks validation. Their silence feels calculated rather than natural. By your third step into the room, these behavioral signatures have already spoken louder than any luxury item ever could. Understanding these behavioral patterns isn't just about reading billionaires. It's about understanding the psychology of confidence itself. While some studies suggest certain wealthy individuals may develop emotional control as a wealth-building trait, extensive research reveals that wealth often correlates with significant psychological challenges, including higher rates of anxiety, depression, substance abuse, and reduced empathy compared to the general population. This emotional control manifests in the very behaviors we've explored: the unhurried pace, the selective positioning, the comfortable silence. When you recognize these patterns, you're not just learning to navigate elite spaces. You're learning to embody the quiet confidence that transcends any social setting. The next time you enter any room that intimidates you, remember, billionaires aren't judging your performance of wealth. They're reading your relationship with your own presence. Your pace reveals whether you're arriving or belonging. Your positioning shows whether you're seeking or selecting. Your silence communicates whether you're waiting or choosing. Master these fundamentals, and you'll carry yourself with the same unshakable presence that makes billionaires notice. Not because you're trying to impress them, but because you no longer need to. That's the difference between performing confidence and living it. Subscribe for more insights into the psychology of power and presence, and discover what really sets the ultra-successful apart from everyone else trying to get their attention.